Hey guys, so I know that it has been a hot minute since I have done any videos, but we are wrapping up what was a crazy weekend with WrestleMania 40, and what a weekend it was. I took most of the week off of work so that I could stay home and watch this. I wanted to go through for you guys my reaction to what we saw happen. So some of the things I don't know that we can speculate necessarily where things go from here. We'll get a little bit more idea on that tonight on Monday Night Raw. And I'm going to try to do a video on that tomorrow. I want to be more consistent with this because I have not been very consistent. And I apologize for that. But we're going to try to get back into that. Okay, so let's get started. Just gonna quickly go through the matches, my impression of them, what I took from them. We started with Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch on night one, and so this I think was the right call. Becky did not need this. Okay, so she has already done so much in this business, and one of the directions I think maybe they go from here is potentially Money in the Bank for her. I don't know. It is the only thing that she has not done yet is win a Money in the Bank ladder match. So maybe they go there, maybe she takes some time off. I don't know for sure, but this certainly does not hurt her in any way. And it definitely elevates Rhea. She looks like an absolute star. And she handled herself amazingly at the press conference afterwards. She really did. I enjoyed the live playing of her theme music as she went down to the ramp. It was great. I think that was the right call for that match. They both put everything into it. Was it as great as Rhea's win over Charlotte last year? I don't know about that, but it definitely was a very good match. Okay, let's switch to the Undisputed Tag Team titles. Now, honestly, going into this, I really felt as though Judgment Day was going to hang on to one of them. I really felt like they were going to split them and that someone else was going to win the other one. I was wrong. Judgment Day did not hang on to any of them. A-Town Down won one of them, and I'm okay with this. As much as I would have liked to have seen someone else win it, it was the right call. You need to have a heel team hanging on to one of them. You can't have a babyface having all the titles, right? It doesn't usually work. But for this match, to have Awesome Truth win the other one was amazing. I was so rooting for R-Truth as he was climbing that ladder. He has not had a moment, but he has always still been a trusted member of WWE. He's always been there. He has always entertained us. So this was definitely this is their way of giving him his flowers for all of the hard work that he has put in, the entertaining of us that he has done over the years. Truth is absolutely amazing. He really is. He's so much fun to watch. So that was great for him. As he was waiting for that tag in, I could not help yelling at the screen, Truth, you don't need to tag. Just go in. They were fun to watch on the Pat McAfee show this morning as well. The truth is, okay, Miz and Truth are fun to watch irregardless, right? They are both such stars. So much fun. So I'm very happy for both A-Town Down and Awesome Truth. It also kind of works out though too in this respect as well though, guys. So A-Town Down has been for the most part SmackDown competitors, right? So it makes sense for them to have them win the SmackDown tag titles. And Awesome Truth has been featured on Monday Night Raw. So it makes sense to have them win the Monday Night Raw titles. And I was really excited actually about the fact they did split those titles up. It needed to happen. When you looked at all of the tag teams that were available within the WWE, they needed to split them up. So this was a great method to do that. It really was. And it made WrestleMania 40 that much better to have it in that ladder match style. We had Rey Mysterio and Andrade taking on Santos Escobar and Dominic. This was a fun match. I liked that the rest of the LWO kind of got involved. We had Joaquin Wilde just make that crazy jump and just went flying. It was the air that he got was amazing. It was nice to see some of the non-WWE fans get involved, and by that I mean Philadelphia Eagles players. We had Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson that helped. They took the chair away from Dominic. Let's face it, guys, this is not going to happen necessarily at other times. This is WrestleMania, and one of the purposes sometimes behind WrestleMania is to get those eyes on the product. And this is going to be a time when you're going to get those that are maybe football fans, but not necessarily wrestling fans, so they don't necessarily know as much about wrestling and the superstars, but they're going to recognize some of those other names, like the football names, right? Like Kelsey, like Johnson, right? So it's good to have some of those appearances. Andrade and Rey Mysterio end up picking up the victory there, and that I think was the right call. So we move on to the next match, Jimmy versus Jay. I'm going to take a moment here because this match, the build-up to it, the hype, the videos package was absolutely amazing. I was looking forward to such a banger. And they put on a great match, do not get me wrong, they did. It was a good match. I guess I was really just expecting more. They teased the angle of Jimmy pretending to apologize when he was about to get super kicked by Jay. And they could have gone so much further with that. I feel like they could have went further with this match. It was still good. I still enjoyed it. I just was hoping for a little bit more. Jay, of course, coming out victorious over Jimmy on that. We then had the 6-woman tag match. We had Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade taking on Asuka, Kairi, and Dakota. This was a fun match. That's what it was meant to be. It was meant to showcase these 6 women, who didn't necessarily have anything else going on. They wanted to, I think more than anything, showcase Jade. And even Naomi and Bianca in this, that was history making in and of itself. But Bianca, Naomi, and Jade looked like absolute stars in that entrance. I liked it. I thought it was very good. listening to them talk, though, during the press conference, so for them it was chilly, right? Except for Naomi. During the press conference, she made the comment that because of the LEDs in her outfit, that kept her warmer than Bianca and Jade. But see, here's the thing with that, though, because they were saying it was chilly in Philly, right? I'm from Minnesota, so I am used to those temperatures, right? I would definitely be prepared for that. Which, okay, to be fair, these superstars, they can't necessarily be prepared in that fashion, right? If you're going to an event, you can dress warmer, you can have layers, whatever, you can be prepared for it. These guys are wearing ring gear, right? So they have to be prepared for that. And granted, when they get to the ring, they're going to have those bright lights on them, and it's going to warm up. To some extent, but you have to be careful, because when you're walking to the ring, your body's going to get chillier, it's going to stiffen, especially if you're in that ring gear. Which is why it's nice for those that have kind of like the robes, the warmer stuff they can wear getting from the stage to the ring. And then once they get to the ring and you're under those bright lights and it's warmer probably. And keep in mind, this is just probably because I've never actually been in the ring under those lights, so I don't know for sure. But I imagine it probably is warmer there underneath all of that. Maybe it's not. But it tightens things up in your muscles, and that makes that a little bit harder on them as far as moving around. So, but their entrance was great. I liked their entrance. With the finisher for Jade, there's been some people that like it and some people that don't. I don't mind it. It works for right now. Hopefully there's more she can add to it, to kind of make it, I don't necessarily want to say better, but just add something to it, because I feel like there needs to be more. I just like a little variety, I guess, when it comes to that stuff, instead of the same thing. So we then had Intercontinental Championship match, Gunther and Sammy. I honestly thought Sammy was done, but he came back. And I am so excited for Sammy, because I really thought that they were going to let Gunther's reign continue. He's been an outstanding champion. He really has. But they pulled the trigger. They gave it to Sammy, and I'm super excited for Sammy. That is great. I loved seeing Kevin Owens being there as he was going through the curtain, basically just telling him, you got this. And I appreciated on night 2 when Sammy was there for Kevin. But we'll get more into that here in a second. So Sammy wins. He is the new Intercontinental Champion. I can't wait to see what they do for him tonight. I have no doubt he will be on Raw tonight, and we will see where this leads from here. Honestly, I am guessing there's going to be more of a continuation here with Gunther. I don't think this is the last that we see of that. I really don't. I think we see a rematch for Gunther. We then had the closing match. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins taking on The Rock and Roman Reigns. I think this was the right call to have Rock and Roman win. It allowed you to have the star power on night 2. It allowed it to mean more for Cody to overcome those odds. Even though I feel like even with Rock and Roman not winning night 1, I think we still would have seen the interference night 2. But this really made it that much more special for Cody winning that match. It also set things up nicely for Drew's match against Seth the next night. It was a grueling match. They were all over the place. There were no rules. Like, this should have been a basic tag match, right? And it was not. And you could tell that right from the beginning, because it did not stay in the ring right from the beginning. And you could very clearly hear Rock saying to the ref, if you start counting, you're fired. He essentially was telling him then, you better do what I taught you to. And that there were no rules. So it was the right call to have Rock and Roman win that match. And let's move on to night 2. Okay? First of all, let's talk about the fact that Stephanie McMahon opened up night 2. He welcomed us to night 2 of WrestleMania. Now, I do not believe that Steph is part of the management of WWE anymore. I think she just still stepped aside and is still aside. But she is back to at least taking part in things, and I think that's exciting. And it does really add to that whole idea from Triple H Night 1 that this is a new era. And I was excited to see Steph out there. It was warmer out, so they were not going to have the issues that they did Night 1. Now, we're going to start with the World Heavyweight Championship, because that was up first on Night 1. Drew and Seth Rollins. They killed it. Drew tried to come out right away with the Claymore and win it in seconds. That didn't work. He kicked out. Clearly, Seth was not 100% after Night 1, but he still put a lot into it, and it was good. Now, I feel bad for Drew to an extent. He got his moment. He won his championship in front of people, which is what he wanted, right? So he did get that, but they did not stop there. Okay, they are setting things up, and that feud I think we're going to see continue tonight between Drew and CM Punk. Because it was the gloating of Drew in front of CM Punk that had him not paying attention and not considering what could potentially happen. And then Damien's music hit. Damien cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase. Seth Rollins is no longer the only one that has tried to steal the show with the heist of the century. Now, granted, when Seth did this, it was inside of an already ongoing match, so essentially he made it a triple threat. This time, at least Priest let them finish the match. But doesn't matter. Damian Priest is your new World Heavyweight Champion. That is a great moment for Damian Priest. Excited for him for that. And they have set things up for Drew. He is going to be fine. He's going to have a showcase feud continuing from this. I don't know what they do with Damien from there as far as who a challenger will be. We'll get more on that probably tonight. I'm sure there will be a celebration for Damien, because no doubt we will get to see that tonight. I am sure Damien and Andrea will both celebrate tonight. Damien also did an awesome job last night at the press conference afterwards. He handled himself very well. I think everybody really did that was involved in the press conferences. We saw The Rock, Roman, Rhea, and that may have been it besides Triple H, who was on both nights, but night 1 it may have just been Rhea, Roman, and The Rock. And then, of course, last night we had Cody, you had Bayley, you had Damien. Everybody did very well with the press conferences. I really enjoyed them. He had the street fight between Bobby Lashley and Street Profits and Final Testament carrying cross in the Authors of Pain. This was a fun match. It gets these guys on the card. One thing I was not expecting was a special guest referee. We got to see Bubba Ray Dudley. How cool was that? The moment when he put the glasses on was so much fun. They started setting up the tables. You even got to see that spot for Scarlett and B-Fab. And taking a moment there. This has been one of the best things for B-Fab. She looks so much more like a star being with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. She really does. I feel like it has done a lot for her character and building her up. And what she's able to do, especially with this feud with Scarlett across from her, I think is going to do a lot for her as well. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, of course, coming up victorious there. Okay. We then had LA Knight and AJ Styles, who wasted no time attacking each other. LA Knight ended up coming out victorious there, but those two put on a hard-hitting match. It really was. He finished it out with the BSP. They both looked like stars, honestly. I enjoyed it. So next we had Logan Paul defending against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Let's start with the entrances for this, okay? Logan looked like a star pulling up in his truck. Looked great. He heads to the ring. Kevin Owens walks out. A regular Kevin Owens entrance, right? He then stops and looks at Logan Paul's vehicle. Goes back, and I'm thinking, where are you going, Kevin? And then he comes out with a golf cart. And I thought that was just going to be it, right? But no, it was not. He then starts heading to the ring, but then backs up. And I didn't realize at the moment that the entrance music had started for Randy. So he was backing up to pick Randy Orton up. And you could see Randy at first was like, do I ride down the ring on the golf cart? Why not? Why not? So he jumps on the back of the golf cart. He could have got in and sat down next to Kevin. But no, he decided to ride on the back with the customary, let's go. And they ride down to the ring in this golf cart. I thought it was fun. It was a good match. It had a strong reaction, I will admit, to Logan Paul winning. I don't know if part of that was because he involved his brass knuckles into the situation. At the end of the day, it was not part of what defined the finish. So I guess I was okay with that. Looking back, I realized that, okay, Logan Paul is a star, and he does get unconventional eyes on the product. And that is good for WWE. And you can't have all baby faces as champions. So I'm okay with him winning over Randy and Kevin. This spot with Randy and the Prime Bottle was a fun little spot as well. I enjoyed that. I did. He ended up putting the Prime Bottle through the table. That was so much fun. Okay. Then we have Bayley and Io Sky. Now, Bayley had tweeted out that she was unable to get the opening that she wanted. And I don't know if that was necessarily true or not. Her entrance is definitely not conventional. It was a fun entrance. She looks like an absolute star. I am so glad that Bayley got her moment. Well, Io is definitely a star, and I will agree with that. She's great in the ring. I still maintain that I don't necessarily care for her presentation as she heads to the ring. It's not hitting me, okay? The music itself does, and maybe it's part of a culture thing that is just not jiving with me, but I just don't really care for physically the way she walks to the ring. But she looks like an absolute star. This had to be Bayley's moment, though. So many other women have had their moments, and I think this year is definitely Bayley's moment. So, very happy for her. Nah, I don't think this is necessarily the end for Bayley and Io. I think there will definitely be rematches. There will definitely be more to come from that. Then we end the night with Roman Reigns and Cody. Cody coming up victorious. That was fun. You had so much going on in that match. So, one thing I want to point out here is that there have been several people that have stated, at least one that I saw on social media, that brought up the fact that everybody complained Roman needed help, but no one complained that Cody got help. Here's the difference. First of all, John Cena was the only one that put hands on Roman Reigns. Okay? The other help that Cody had, first in the form of Jey Uso, was once Jimmy came down. And Jimmy came after Jey before Jey even got to the ring. The two never made it to the ringside area. Okay, so they started going after each other. That is not done. Jimmy and Jey's story isn't finished. I think there's definitely still too much hostility and animosity there, at least storyline-wise. You had John Cena, who did come out. He did put hands on Roman. That did happen. You had Seth Rollins that came out. He didn't get a chance to do anything before he was eliminated. His involvement did nothing. He was in the ring for maybe a second before he was completely taken out. You then had John Cena. Undertaker, who chokeslammed The Rock. He is not going in the ring. He's not going to necessarily have any more matches. But the fact that they brought him back to do this spot was so much fun. And the fact that they probably wouldn't have been able to do this if Night 1 had not happened. They wouldn't have been able to have that star power. And they used them, I think, in a way that was not taking anything away from the current superstars. So that was a fun little bit. Lights went out, and Undertaker was gone. Cody wins. Everyone comes out to celebrate. It was a lot of fun. I have not necessarily seen a spot where there are so many people that come out to the ring afterwards to celebrate with the winner. But it was a great spot for Cody. He needed, I think, to have all of that. So I thought it was a great show altogether, and I'm excited to see what we get from Monday Night Raw and SmackDown this week. Alright, we will talk to you guys later. Let me know what you guys think, whether you agree, disagree with any of these takes on this. Let me know. Alright, bye-bye.